Good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you. Hey. We are glad that you're here with us, meeting for just a few minutes for midweek. I personally, I don't know about Emily, I cannot wait until we get you all back in the building and we get to hang out together face to face. I've been missing them.
Yep, me too.
I've been missing them a lot. And the boys, always talking about students and when they're going to get to hang out with y'all again, and just excited. Anytime we have visitors, they get nuts. Mm-hmm. And so we haven't had visitors in a while.
That's the hardest part for them.
Yeah.
Not having visitors.
Yeah, they miss everybody. So we're ready to get everything back on track and get everybody meeting back together again. We miss you all. We have a few special guests for you tonight. And if you'll kind of stay tuned over these next few minutes, we have some familiar faces that haven't seen you in a while. We miss you. They miss you too. And so they're going to be spending some time just letting you know what's been going on in their lives. Hopefully they'll give you some encouraging words. And so pay attention and listen close. These are people who are wise. They've been through a lot, and they do miss you and they care about you. So listen to what they have to say, and we'll be back in just a minute.
See ya.
Hello, everybody.
Oh gosh.
Hello.
And I mean, you're not really saying hi to me. You're saying hi to everybody out there. It's good to see everybody.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
So we've been missing everyone, hanging out with everybody, and really excited to kind of get to see some of my awesome small group leaders. I love you all. I know the students have been missing you. Unless the student lives in your house, and then they're probably like, I just want to go sit outside for a little bit. I have a couple questions for you I want to ask, and we'll start off with kind of a softball question, since we're all, you all have kids, you're stuck at home with your kids, and just like us, we are board game geeks. I don't know if you can you see that shelf right there?
Wow, impressive.
Yeah. We're board game nerds, and so
you kind of warned us of that when I first met you.
Yep. Does anybody have a favorite board game that you all play with your families?
Shannon?
What? Oh,
you could,
yeah. Well,
you got for this one.
it's really, really fun. It's probably going to be backwards whenever you see it on the video, but it's called Dragonwood.
Dragonwood.
It's super fun. Josh, if you're I know that Jackson would really like it,
okay.
But teenagers would like it too. Like Dustin and I really like it. It's been really fun. It's a dice card kind of game, but it's really fun.
We have played a little bit of Farkle, which just rolling dice. Yeah, the old the electronic Monopoly. We have swiped the cards many times on electronic Monopoly, and I'm not a huge Monopoly fan, but we've played it a little bit.
We played Uno a lot. It's not really technically a board game, but
hey, that board game, card game, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Uno's a good one.
I have yet to win, so
who's the major winner?
Carter.
Holding home. Carter. Way to go, Carter. All right. Funny. What were you gonna say, Christy? One word.
Oh, just puppy. We don't have board games out.
Yeah, I guess that would be kind of hard. Puppies like to chew on things.
He just wants to chew on feet and fingers and things.
I can't say we're board gaming, but we did a 500-piece puzzle.
Ooh.
And
I've seen a lot of puzzle working lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a puzzle going too.
Nice.
Then Linda gave us a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I think we're all a little bit intimidated by that. We haven't started it yet.
What about you guys, Derek? You've been board gaming it up, card gaming it up?
Yeah, Uno. We played a few games of Uno.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous one with
Do you
kids.
have Uno Attack?
It is. No, just regular
Uno
Uno.
Attack is just mean.
Yeah.
Because the machine spits out the cards
Oh
on
yeah.
how many you get.
Yeah. Well, I think regular Uno is mean enough. So.
Yeah. What about a calming activity? You're stressed out at home because you're stuck inside. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Sit outside.
sit outside. Mhm. Yep.
Yep. Sit outside, listen to worship music. That's about it.
So I like to fold clothes or do the dishes while I'm listening to something in my ears, and I can't hear anything else but that. And for some reason, that honestly is calming for me. Or reading. I love to read, so any chance I get to be quiet, stick something in my ears so I don't hear my kids, and read. That's very calming for me.
I go outside and turn the chickens out and just follow the chickens around.
It's like Emily's mom. We call her the chicken lady. She's got like
Yep.
80-something chickens, and she's
They're
the one
very
to
good
follow.
therapists. They listen.
Yeah.
Mine is definitely get on the lawnmower, go clean up some brush, go do something out in the yard.
It's so weird. Whenever I was younger, I remember thinking, like, I am going to have a concrete yard. I don't want to touch a lawnmower for the rest of my life. Now I just go outside and mow for hours.
I'll be right back. I gotta let the dog out.
Well, I go out and hit golf balls. I can't hit them very far out here, but that's what I do.
Well, I don't know that you would consider this calming. It's become part of our routine most recently as Stuart and Lindy and Nate a little bit, just maybe not as much. This is calming to us, but we work out. We exercise. And then after the exercise, we call it the circle. There's a part of our neighborhood that we walk around, and that's working out is not new. I usually used to work out in the mornings, and then Lindy would always do her workout at, the last hour of school, and then Stuart would work out at either the fire station or at home in the evening. But now we've been doing it all together. And then afterwards, if Nate's not a part of it or whatever, he's usually playing basketball. And then he'll either get on his bike when we're walking the circle, or he'll walk with us.
There they are. Okay, so next question. What, during this time of being safer at home, socially distant, isolation, whatever you want to call it around your house, don't call it quarantine. Only call it quarantine if you're sick, all right? Don't call it quarantine. During this time of distancing, what has God been teaching you through all of it?
I'll give an answer that probably most everybody's probably given, or a lot of people that I've kind of talked to, but it just, the time with the family, the time that we've spent studying God's word in the evenings, that, we're always trying to squeeze it in between some activity or something whenever all the sports and stuff are going on. But it's been nice to have that time to just not feel like we're squeezing it in and making God kind of last priority, but making him first priority.
Yeah.
For me, I think mainly just like it's okay to slow down. Like, before we just felt like we had to go and actually like experiencing this and slowing down. It's actually been kind of refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been nice, that part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's been, there's a lot of fear and anxiety, uncertainty that's out there right now. And, what we've been kind of reading about and going through is that, God can use and is using these times to call people to himself. And even in these, kind of dark days and uncertain days, that we know that God's still in control. We know God is still on his throne, and he's able to overcome all obstacles, right? And he's able to provide hope and peace and comfort, even in very difficult, trying times like this.
There's something that I had come across it's in my old Bible, and I was going through my older Bible the other day and I came across it again, but the Lord reminded me. I think it's a quote by John Piper, but he said when God withholds something good from us, we learn whether or not we are content to have him and nothing else. And so that was a really good reminder for me, because I'm sure I'm not the only one hopefully I'm not the only one who has complained about things or been frustrated with certain things. But
I never complain. Absolutely never.
I know you guys are so angelic. But just to remind me that my joy is in him alone. It should be in nothing else but him. And I mean, obviously, like, our families can bring us happiness and joy, but our true joy and contentment is only to be found in him. And
Patience is definitely it. You have to have patience with everything now, because everybody's lives have changed. The store operating hours have changed. Not that that's a big priority, but just like I take for granted going into a paint store to get what I need for a job that we're working on for a house.
Yeah.
But more importantly is, I think it's a reset button that God wants us all to get back to what's most important, is our family, communicating with people, whether it is digitally or not, but just to get back in touch with what's most important.
I wrote down some stuff the other day, and things that I've missed. I've complained. Really, this past year, I have nothing to complain about, because it's been a good school year for me. Last year was kind of a rough year, but I feel like I took for granted a lot of things at school. Like, I mean, I know that there are going to be kiddos that get on your last nerve, or there are going to be teachers or, coworkers that you don't agree with, or you're going to, have your bickerings back and forth or whatever. But when I went to school last week to get everything ready packet wise for kiddos that don't have the internet, he just really opened my eyes to the things that I take for granted, like, and the things that I really miss with these kids. And sometimes I'm kind of a drill sergeant on him, and maybe I need to just kind of, well, Stuart says this all the time. He tells me, he said, just love him, just go in there and love him. And I gotta do a little bit better at that, and not just be a drill sergeant to him, but because I miss him. I miss him really, really bad.
All right. So switch gears a little bit. What have you been missing? Now we talked about what we've learned during this time. We lost Josh. I'm sure he'll be back. Talked about what we've learned, but what have you been missing during this time?
And my battery's getting low. If you're missing me,
Nice.
it goes away.
I think just like going to a movie or going out to eat whenever you just want to, we take those things for granted too. I mean, you think, oh, that new movie's coming out or whatever, I'd like to go see it. But I mean, now there's like nothing. You can't do any of that.
Missing my class, missing seeing my guys, hearing about their week, missing seeing the church family, missing being able just to run normal errands and go out and do normal everyday stuff.
Get the mail without Lysoling it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, get groceries without wiping it down.
Oh my
A
goodness.
UPS package, you're like,
Yeah.
no.
I'm just going to leave that on the porch for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really miss the, just when you go to church and you worship, but you just I guess fellowshipping with your brothers and sisters in Christ, like with my job, I'm gone a lot, like 4 weeks in a row, but I'm there Wednesday nights and you still see people, but it's like 3 weeks now. And it's like, it's getting to be a long time, I guess. So you do miss seeing people. And if you don't have, you just think if you don't have, like I still see my family, but those that don't have, you know, they're really missing people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss the kids seeing the other kids. It's hard on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss youth group. Oops. I have to tell it that I'm low. Sorry.
That's all
I'm
right.
back. Yes, I miss our youth group, church. I miss all of it. Just being able to go in and get a stain color on my board. I took for granted all of that. Just a lot of things, like our showroom floors aren't open for our clients to pick out their flooring, where, you know, it's a stage of their house.
Yeah.
And just, that's all just business like stuff, but just the everyday seeing people, you're always together, gives you more opportunities to witness and tell them about just what God's doing in your life.
Yes, I heard everything that Pat said, and that's what I was going to say. I just miss being the whole body together and stuff.
Yeah.
I was out at Barbara Wagner's yesterday putting fertilizer on her yard, and she stood in the garage, and I just stood out. And typically we always hug each other, you know, and she's really missing, of course, she's got kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, but she said she was talking to Travis about how she's just ready to get back where she can, like the first Sunday will just be a hug fest, and then he may not even have to preach that day. Just everyone.
Yeah.
That's so
It'll just
sweet.
be,
Aw.
a day of enjoying each other's fellowship. That's pretty good.
Yep.
So since we've been missing those things, how are we going to let this whole thing kind of change the way we interact with people whenever things go back to what we would consider normal?
I'm going to still wear my hoop dress from the 80s with keep everybody away from me.
Just because you ain't sick anymore doesn't mean I want you in my bubble.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I think just not
Alright.
taking things for granted.
There
you
you
know?
go. Appreciate.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have found that, so even when this is said and done, it's going to be really easy to have conversations with strangers. It's already easy to have conversations with strangers. Like I said, when I'm talking about people going for walks and I don't know them, it's really easy to start a conversation with them because we're all thinking about the same thing right now.
Mhm.
And so when it's over and we can start being around other people, we're still all going to be thinking about the same thing. And it's going to be really easy to just talk to people.
Yeah,
Slow it down and not take for granted of what we have and have had, and maybe change it up for our future.
Yeah. I think it's easy to kind of get caught up in the circle of things, and you feel comfortable, and then you realize that all those things aren't promised, they're not guaranteed, and boom, now they're gone.
And
They'll
it
be
makes you
back.
realize
We know they'll be
what's
back.
what's stuff and what's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I when all this is over, I just want to be more tolerant of, I don't know, like I at school, I rush around and I have to do this and you got to do this and you got to make sure this is done and you want to teach them this and you got to do this and that. It's just a race all the time. And definitely I'm going to do my best to teach them everything there is to be taught. But I think I think sometimes there is that relationship missing. And I feel like if I were more tolerant of them sometimes, then that relationship would just fall right into place. And I also said like I had a good year this year and I had some sweet kiddos and that I don't get to see them again. And now they're going to middle school and I just want them I wish I had that extra time to let them know how much I appreciated them and what smart kids I think they are. And, and instead of just running the race, kind of like Lynette said, it's okay to slow down. It is okay. And it's still okay to slow down even at my work, even in my classroom, that just slow down, take a breath, We're going to figure all this out together, instead of me just kind of push. And there's so much stress in the rat race of that.
Mhm.
And then I also, when all this is over, one of the things I don't want to stop is our family night walks.
Yeah.
And seeing people in the neighborhood who are all doing the same thing.
All right. This is the last question. We'll end on a high note. The last question. What's been your number one go-to socially distant, isolated snack?
Oh gosh.
Don't incriminate yourself, because if you're like us, you hide your snacks from your kids.
Yeah.
Don't tell them where it is, but what is it? What's been your go-to?
Yeah, I did have some vanilla zingers stashed up in the pantry, but they're gone now. So have to make
From you? Did you eat
Carter's
them?
like, what?
Yeah, a zinger run. I'm going to have to make a zinger run.
Like wavy Lay's potato chips.
Okay.
So I pretend they're chips, but they're big old honking carrot slices. And they come in a bag already washed. But like I say, I don't believe anybody when they say that, because something seeps in the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Like the COVID. So anyhow, I like these carrot slices like a boss. I've got like 5 bags. But you pair them with an Oreo, then you don't lose any weight nor gain. I mean, it just kind of balances out.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Who needs workouts? You can eat a carrot and Oreo.
We've been like on the nights or the days that Pat's off, we've been watching all of the Marvel movies like in chronological order. And we usually have like popcorn with that. So that's kind of been our thing is popcorn.
That's so fun. I love that.
Well, before all this started, we had gone to Sam's and Stuart got Snickers ice cream bars.
Mm.
And last week he went back and he got more.
Reese's eggs.
Man.
It's perfect time of year. Reese's eggs.
Yes, what a perfect season.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't really have a go-to snack, but Dustin randomly brought home this bag of, and I was really mad at him for it. And I actually asked him to hide it from me because I could not stay away from it. And he never did. And so me and Taylor ate it all basically. But they're pretzel pieces in a bag, and they have different flavors. And oh my gosh, you got the honey mustard and onion or something like that. Oh my gosh,
nice.
Amazing.
My favorite, or what I've kind of went to through this break, and I kind of started before the break just because I wasn't a big Nutella fan.
Oh.
But my boys love Nutella, and they'll eat just Nutella on Ritz crackers. I don't know. I can eat multiple handfuls of Nutella on Ritz crackers. So that's been my go-to.
Megan busted out the recipe book, and she's made no-bake cookies, apple cream cheese Danish, chocolate chip cookies. We're all the 15.
Ooh.
The quarantine 15 is real.
It's a real thing.
I don't really have one.
What's your everyday go-to then? Tell that.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
Ooh.
Those are the best.
Must be a brother thing.
Oh yeah.
I always have them.
Okay, well, thank you all for sharing your answers to these questions with us, and I really do appreciate you guys and gals, and I'm with you. As soon as this is over, it's gonna have to be a big party. High fives and hugs all around. Charlie sent a message. Was that Sunday morning that he sent that message, Pat? Talking about right now it feels like we should all be standing around drinking coffee.
Yes.
Connectors.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we miss, like just being around each other. Anyways, I'm looking forward to getting back together. So yeah, thanks again. I appreciate you all. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. I really enjoyed the time that I got to spend with the Connect Group leaders and volunteers through Zoom as annoying as it is to have to talk like that, we got to see each other. We got to laugh. We got to, share some emotions and some feelings. And so Emily's here. She didn't join on those meetings. And so I thought I would ask her a couple of questions. We'll have to start off, just two. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just two. Number one, if you had to choose one calming activity, because you're an adult, life is chaotic. We have kids at home. I know you didn't know that, but we have kids at home and homeschool and all of that on top of work and things like that. So what has been your calming activity that you've focused on?
I like being outside. I especially like our new swing. So sitting out in the swing.
We get a really cool new swing. Kind of hangs in a tree. It's a big circle, and you hit the tree if you swing too high.
I don't swing high.
No, none of us swing high. Even Jackson and Asher.
Yeah.
They swing as high as you can, I guess, whenever you're little kids. So just the swing and outside. What about these last couple of days? It's been cold and pretty.
I've been a little not calm.
Yeah, cooped up and
watching Avengers and Thor.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think Emily burned through 3 or all of the Thor movies. Yeah, every one of them. So, anyways, no, that's kind of our go-to. Like, we really enjoy being outside and mowing grass, sitting on the porch. If you watch our Monday Morning Madness videos with the staff, I'm usually out on the porch because that's just where we like to be. We like to be outside, and I've been outside actually today building stuff, and it's outside is beautiful. It's the way to be. So no, that's mine too, I would say. What about what God has been teaching you through all of this, like the stopping of the chaos, the stopping of everything, and just not going anywhere, not doing anything? What has God been teaching you?
So really, God's been teaching me just to trust Him completely, and to be still and to listen to what He's saying, because He has caused us all to be still for a reason. And so just listening to what He has to say, and trusting and that He's working everything out, and He's going to be glorified through it all.
Yeah. I like that scripture. Is it Romans 8:5 or Romans 5:8? We know that God works all things together for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That's kind of been like the solace I think that everybody's taken. It's good to know, like, through all of the chaos, like, God's on our side, and it may not seem like it. It may seem like things are broken, but there's a lot of hope for those of us who know Christ, and so that's good. That's good. No. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We're glad that you were able to be here. Hopefully you were encouraged. Hopefully you learned something about your Connect group leaders. We got some good answers from a couple of those, and had a really good time. Hopefully you had a good time too, and look forward to seeing you all really soon. Hopefully really, really soon. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? But hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Regardless of when I see you, just want to let you know I love you.
Love you guys.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.